So, if we can get the prediction in, Kartoffel, whenever you're ready, get that prediction set up. And this is going to be the first game of the $100 Cup final, the $100 DubsCup final of MrMerlin versus Animus. And this is going to be a best of 7. So we have Animus playing as the Inca on the bottom right. And of course we have MrMerlin playing as the Ottomans at the top left. It's going to be very, very interesting. I'm very interested to see what's going to be happening here with this matchup. Make sure that you get your predictions in. You spend your widget points. And you let me know who's going to be winning these games. Who you think is going to win. Okay, so we have a mosque being built already. MrMerlin going out to start herding. Okay, I'm sure we're going to be seeing a trade post opening as well, like we normally do. Do we have a prediction in? Kartoffel? There it is. Thank you very much, Kartoffel. Appreciate it, dude. If that was yourself. Welcome. And we have a cancer house going down. And of course, we are macroing towards that big button, which is the standard sort of Inca play. Pretty much that's the number one opening for Inca, is to build one cancer house, get the big button card as soon as you can. I think it's called like the Queen's Parade or something. It gets you 4 villages. Very, very nice. And if we move over to MrMerlin, you can see that shopping for a TP, potentially getting a mosque and a TP. I think that's what's going to be happening here. Does this seem a little bit quiet to you guys? Hang on a second. Let me know if it's a little bit quiet. Music volume, sound. There we go. Get a little bit louder for you guys. What's the predictions? 1,000 points. Come on, guys, spend your points. There's only 1,000 points that's currently been betted. Get your points in right now of who you think is going to win. Also, the predictions are wrong there, by the way. It shouldn't be LaPlante. It's actually MrMerlin. So, Kartoffel, what are you playing at? It should be MrMerlin, not LaPlante. But it doesn't matter. Make sure you just put that prediction in for MrMerlin. So we have 1k points so far against 8.6. So very, very much in favour for Animus in this game. So we'll see what's going to happen. I'm not entirely sure MrMerlin's elo. I know that Animus is relatively high. Looks like there was a pause there. We have MrMerlin's Explorer here trying to grab the 90 food with the bears. Taking that bear down, nice. I like this play here. Very, very good. Have a look over here. We have Animus grabbing an 80 coin. Very nice. So I don't know what we're going to see from Animus here. Let's have a look at his deck. Ah, here we go. We've got the Native Rush, it seems. Yeah, the American Allies where you get the Native Embassy. Okay. We're going to see something very similar to what Planty did, I believe. However, he unfortunately lost his Explorer because you've got to bear in mind this Explorer will provide a buff to native units. Hey, Comet Adama, how you doing, dude? Welcome. Welcome. Predictions wrong still in semi-finals. Yeah, no spoilers, please. No spoilers from either Animus, MrMerlin, or Doubles. Obviously, Doubles is the one saying no spoilers, but just from you 3 guys, please, obviously, just keep it to yourself. Don't give anything away about the game of what's going to happen in the future. Please just keep that to yourself so we can all enjoy it and figure out what's going to happen. So, to be honest, we're getting into the Chief here. So we're aging up with the Chief. And it looks like we're going to be doing a native rush here. We have the we have a lot of native. We have the American allies, of course. We have the Sapa Inca, which improves the speed and hit points of the War Chief, because we're going to need him to be as tanky as possible because he provides bonuses to native warriors. And you can see here that we have the Ottomans aging up with the Quartermaster, very standard. And it looks like, yep, Ottomans are going to age up a little bit quicker, of course. We don't see a TP actually on the line yet. So just went for a mosque and a house. Quite interesting. Normally I see a TP being opened up, so that's very, very interesting to see. Okay, we've got a Tambo coming down, which is the Incan TP, which is very standard in transition to build a TP. So that's good to see from Animus here. And he's going the Chief. Now I can't remember what the Chief is. Is the Chief the Travois? Is it the 2 Travois? It must be. Must be. Heartclux saying, sorry for the spoiler, but I won the tourney. There you go, guys. Sorry. Game over. Yeah, the no TP auto. That's very, very strange from MrMerlin. I don't normally see that. Normally, it's you know, your Explorer makes a beeline. He builds the TP as soon as possible, and then chops wood for a mosque, I believe. So very interesting to see. We'll see what card Animus is going to go for. He's going to be aging up now with Chief. I just want to see what the Chief does. I think it's the Travas, right? Oh, no, it's not. Maybe someone can let me know what the Chief is. I can't remember. And he is going for, of course, the American allies. He's going to get that native embassy down. And he's going to put that in quite a forward position, I imagine. Oh, no, yeah, it is the Travas, sorry, yeah. So he's got one Travas here. I don't know if he's going to put maybe a war hut here to secure the TP line. Potentially, or is he going to... Oh no, sorry, he's building... Okay, he's going to build the... he's going to build it on the native embassy here. Right, okay, I see. Okay, let's have a look at MrMerlin. What's MrMerlin going for? So he's going for quite a defensive. You can see the barracks are in a defensive position here behind the TC. So he's expecting some pressure perhaps from the Inca. He's probably seen the deck and knows of the native rush. And he's put his barracks behind his TC, and he's starting to get some Jans. He's obviously gone for the Great Coat. Really good sort of reaction here. I'm not too sure if this sort of order is the best. Maybe you want the Great Coat a little bit quicker, but I'm sure it's fine. And we have now, yeah, using both of those Travas here to build a double native posts. And of course, he's now also got the native embassy, which is he's now going to be creating those, I think those Zepotech. And you can see here that, yep, the Plume Spearmen have come out. That's obviously he's got that from the big button that you get from the TC. MrMerlin saying, I'm blind. Yes, I think a couple of villagers were slain there. And we have the Jans there just trying to hold the ground, and we've got some Cree trackers coming out, and we've got, yeah, Cree trackers are like the skirmishers, I believe. Yep, skirmisher unit. 360 HP, look at that, insane. Insane. I mean, I actually haven't done this as Inca yet. I might actually try the native rush. It's a very sort of all-in strategy, I think. You know, you put a lot of time into it. We can see that his macro, he's definitely constantly getting wood. He wants to keep building those canchers, because canchers are pretty powerful. You know, if you can get max canchers relatively soon. And he's got quite a force here. He's got the horse archers. He's got a bunch of Cree trackers. He's got the Zepotech lightning warriors that are basically good against everything. And this is going to be... This is an insane push here. A lot of units. We have the Plume Spearmen really good at sieging. And the Cree trackers are going to definitely take out the Jans here. They don't do a huge amount of damage, but they do have 360 HP. And they're moving in now. And you can see that there is a buff that they're getting given by the Explorer. He's got to be careful. He doesn't want to lose them. But, you know, the Explorer is sort of managing to tank. However, he has popped the Militiamen. And he's probably going to have to retreat here and wait for the Militiamen to start to lose their health, I imagine. So he's just going to back off, it seems. The profile for the unit actually looks nothing like the unit. Yeah, it's weird. It's like he's holding a bow or something. But you actually look at the unit, it just looks, yeah, it looks nothing like. Very, very strange. So it looks like he's now starting to get 6 jungle bowmen in. So really getting the military units. We don't see any sort of wood shipment coming in. No sort of obviously chinchibring as of yet, because that's something that sort of takes a little bit of time. We also get the native treaties, which gets you a shipment of native warriors from each different allied tribe. And you can see here that it's from each of these. And he does have the access here to the Courrier de Bois as well. So there's an option there at some point. You can only get 12 out of 13 and 10 of the horse archers as well. But with extra bowmen behind him as well, he should be able to counter the Jans pretty well. If I was MrMerlin here, I would probably suggest getting Cav, and we do see 3 Hussars on the way. I would definitely try and switch into getting some cav. You've got to be careful of these Zepotech because they are good against cav as well, and he's also got spearmen, so yeah. By the way, guys, make sure not to vote if you're playing the game. Please do not vote on the predictions if you're playing. Yeah, it does say that you have voted, Animus, which is kind of strange, but maybe it's just a bug. I'm gonna say it's a bug. Okay, so we do see some more Jans coming out. So a Jan and Huss sort of composition from MrMerlin, and we see a bunch of natives here. Bowmen and Kree trackers, high skirmishing units. And we do have a couple of cav coming in, but those Zepotech and Spearmen are going to come out, and they're really going to chop up this cav, so he's got to be very careful. That's one cav gone. And we do see the Zepotechs manage to dispatch the cav. And we've got some more Jans coming out here. And yeah, this is looking a little bit dicey here for MrMerlin. This native rush has done wonders for Animus here, and he's obviously still getting more Zepotech Lightning Warriors, 40 food and 60 wood, high amount of wood, and that's why he's macroing for that. He's not really getting any sort of gold. More Zepotech coming in. Zepotech pretty much they just counter infantry and cavalry. So you can see here they're good at cav, heavy infantry, and shock infantry. So they're basically just good at everything. And they've got a relatively high siege. Kind of a crazy unit. And we do now see a little bit of eco, 600 wood coming in. Probably going to help him get some more troops, a couple of cancer houses perhaps. And if we go over to MrMerlin, we see a shipment of Jans and constant Jan production here. And we've got a lonely horse archer here trying to pick off some Vils at the back. And more Jans popping out. I'm going to see how this does. I mean, he is retreating, but a nice little poke there from Animus. We've got a lot of people on gold there for MrMerlin. Nobody on food, though. Villagers returning back to the hunt. Oh, no, PB. Did you vote? Wait, what's that mean? Damn, someone should have said before I voted for Otto's. We do have Merlin actually capped here for pot. This is a real struggle here because he's going to need some wood, and I think sieging a couple of those houses was a great choice from Animus, really sort of pop capping him. And we do see the Native Alliance coming out now. This is full native rush. I love this. I'm going to have to try this. I'm going to have to save this deck and try it as the Incans. I mean, it is quite a risky rush, but if pulled off correctly, it can be kind of crazy. And we see now that obviously this is the build limit is going to increase by 20%, which is really great. And also it's going to be a reduction on wood, gold, and food. We do see the Zepotech Lightning Warriors a lot cheaper now, and we're going to be going for the lumber tech. We've got 700 food for MrMerlin, switching over to the wood so he can get some houses down. He does have a relatively decent mass, 17 Jans, nothing to be sniffed at. So if he can just micro them relatively well and potentially hold off until he gets some cav, it could be some potential here. But yeah, I'm kind of interested to see what he's going to do next, because there's more siege. I mean, look at this house going down relatively quickly, and that's going to really mess his population up. Once again, it's gone back down to 50, and he's having to spend more wood and more time having to try and get that. And we do see a couple more Jans coming out. The Kree trackers don't have a huge amount of damage. You've got to bear that in mind. They've only got 10 damage, and so they only do 20 damage against the Jans, and the Jans do 20 damage themselves. However, the Kree trackers have a lot of HP. So you've got to be careful. Those Zepotechs will actually do quite a bit of damage to the Jans. You do not want to get them in melee combat. The Zepotechs do huge damage. 24, actually even more than that, sorry. They do 30 damage per swipe to the Jans, and that is cleaning them up. And I don't see much in it now for MrMerlin. He's lost all of his units, and it's looking like I'm already seeing some GGs in the chat. Inca looking really strong here, really going all out with the food, in a potential position to even age up if they wanted to. We see MrMerlin just running the villagers in and basically saying, you know what? And there's the charge bugle from from Animus. And yeah, it's looking like there's the GG from MrMerlin and the 1G from Animus. Oh, and then another G. And deleted all of his vills. And there we have it. There we go, guys. First game done between MrMerlin and Animus. And Animus takes the first game. So there we go, guys. Hope you enjoyed that first game. Looked like a nice native rush, which I actually wanted to know how to do. So there we go, guys. Prediction has been completed. Animus takes the first game versus MrMerlin. So, whoever, Kartoffel, if you're ready for the prediction, make sure to obviously get the names correct. We have the second game here of the best of 7 final matchup for the $100 DubsCup between MrMerlin and Animus. And we have MrMerlin playing as the Brits and Animus playing as the good old lamey ports. Well, they're not really lamey. I'm not going to say lamey, but very, very powerful ports. And we are obviously playing on a water map. So this is kind of scary. And I'm sure when the predictions start, a lot of people will probably be saying that Animus is going to win this because this map is sort of, I think, heavily favoured for Portuguese. But you never know. Anything is possible. And we'll see what MrMerlin can pull out of the bag. And we have him playing on the bottom left of the map. And of course, if we zoom over to Animus, we have Animus playing as the Portuguese, as the red, top right of the map here. And we're going to see what's going to be happening here. Probably, most likely, a water boom. We do have a trading post immediately going down. So normally, I mean, you sort of tend to build a trading post in transition, don't you? Or is it straight off the bat? Maybe I'm getting confused with Inca. It looks like he's most likely going to be going for the 10-10. I imagine he's just built the trading post there straight off the bat. So it looks like a 10-10 opening by by Animus. So the prediction is up. There we go, Merlin and Animus. We have 8k currently in for Animus, 60 points for 70 points now for Merlin. Make sure you get your points in. There's only a minute left. Spend your widget points, make that prediction, and see what the hell's going to happen. Make sure you get it in, guys. Okay, so we're going to soon be able to see the decks. I'm very interested. I do like seeing the decks here. We do have a water deck for the Brits. So it looks like we're going to have a lot of water action here. Doesn't seem to be an anti-water deck, so he's probably going all out as well. So that's probably the best idea, is to try and contest the water. It's the only way I think you're going to be able to deal with the ports. And Animus has not selected a deck yet. Let's see what deck he is going to go. Of course, the water deck. Look at that. Professional. Minute he ticked up, boom. And we have the schooners coming in, of course, for the first shipment. And I imagine the next one is going to be, is it whaling? I think it's whale oil, isn't it, for the next one? Or is it potentially rendering plant? Maybe rendering plant. I can't even remember. I'm terrible. I should probably know the order, but I do not. MrMerlin, of course, going for schooners as well, and it seems that, yeah, Animus is just a little bit ahead there. Looks like he's going to age up a lot quicker because we had the 2 houses being built here. Even though that gives him an extra couple of villages, it means Animus can get into the next stage a lot quicker. And I assume that Animus is probably going to set up shop with his TC, maybe around here, so that he can try and cover as much of the sea as possible. Because, of course, TCs provide an insane amount of damage to enemy ships when they're built right next to the coast. So I'm assuming that we're going to see that. Ports on water, simply lame, says Animus. Yep. I'm loving the lame word. I'm loving lame. Because when I used to play StarCraft, I never used to hear lame. It used to be cheese. Like, oh, that's cheesy. Like, if you play a certain way or you play a certain race a certain way, it's cheesing. Like, oh, that's such a cheesy strategy. Never heard the word lame until coming over to AV3. Brit is a nice water sieve too. Yeah, definitely. Like, you know, the British definitely rule the waves. And we're going to see a great sort of matchup here. Very similar to, like, historically, isn't it? Like the Spanish Armada, where you had the ports providing assistance to the Spanish against the Brits. It's going to be exactly like this in this matchup here. So it's going to be very, very interesting. We do see a dot going down, of course, for Animus here in transition. And I assume that TP is I assume maybe a quite an aggressive TP here, perhaps, or maybe a slight defensive. I'm not too sure what we're going to see. We do see the second shipment now available for Animus. Dock has now been put down. We've got a quartermaster coming in, of course, and probably the majority of villagers are going to pretty much stay on wood, I believe, and then he's going to be constantly getting those fishing boats out, and we do see the TC coming out. And he's, of course, going for another 700 wood so he can get those boats in as quickly as possible. MrMerlin a little bit behind, but he's already got his fishing boats in production and his dock down, so he's ready to go as well. Civpool, Japan, 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 India, Sweden port. Yeah, that's it, that's it. Okay, so he's do not have got the governor coming in, so not the quartermaster, the governor. And we've got more fishing boats coming out, of course, for MrMerlin. And Animus obviously went for that 700 wood first. And then I imagine after that, once he's got more fishing boats, I don't know, he might go for the caravels to try and just stop the Brits in their tracks. And there, of course, that's exactly where I said that he'll probably put it. I said probably there, but he's put it right there, securing the gold here and also another hunt. And of course, really trying to deny MrMerlin of anything. And we do see an outpost. Okay, that's what the governor was. Interesting, okay. I don't know whether the outpost might have been better further up, but the outpost has been put down here. I'm not too sure about the outpost, to be honest. I think maybe the quartermaster might have been better. It might have allowed him to get more fishing boats out and infrastructure. I don't know, the 200 coin, I don't know how much of an impact that's going to be for him right now. And we do see the rendering plant, of course, coming out for Animus. And we go over to Merlin. He's gone for the 700 wood. So very similar sort of cards here. Yeah, Brit has no 400 wood, yeah. Brits don't have quartermaster. Outpost is standard though, Kartoffel's saying. So a little bit of a debate there around what the best option would have been. We do see outpost or 500 food is standard. Let's have a look and see what you see on land. So we do see a barracks here just in case for Animus, if anything is going to be going on. We do see a barracks now going down, of course, for MrMerlin. Very, very similar builds here. The only difference is obviously the age up. Politician was slightly different. And we do see a third dock going down now. Only one dock for Animus at the moment. Oh no, 2 docks, sorry. 2 docks built so far. And quite tight with the score still so far. So this is going to be very interesting here. Really, like a lot of fishing boats coming out. Rendering plant going down now for MrMerlin as well. So once again, their sort of decks have been identical at the moment. So I don't know whether we're going to see the fish market going down or maybe 2 caravels to give a little bit of pressure. I'm sure we'll be seeing that very shortly. We do see 700 coin going in. So potential fast fortress, or maybe not, just a semi-FF perhaps for Animus. He is making a few musks as well, so it looks like some sort of semi-FF style. And he's sending a couple out there just to see what's going to be going on. And we do see a nice little pillarless defensive wall here. Very, very nice. I do see some walling as well for MrMerlin. So really, really like mirror here. Apart from the TC, obviously, from the Portuguese, it's very, very similar. And MrMerlin now is looking in a good position here to potentially age up. He's getting quite a bit of gold coming in here. Probably going to have to wait a little bit longer, though, for that age up. And Animus here now getting the upgrade for the ships. And he's getting hunting dogs as well. So, and he's got his gold shipment in here. So it looks like he is on the way to getting into that fortress age. Looking like a semi-fast fortress. He had a couple of musks that he got out here. And I don't know where they've gone. He had a couple of musks. I'm not too sure if they're just sort of scouting around. Can't really see them. We see a market going down here for MrMerlin. And he's going to grab himself a little treasure. And how many shipping boats do we see? We see 18 for Animus.
Yes.
And we only see 9 here for MrMerlin. So Animus really being greedy. He's got 19 boats out now, so, you know, over double the amount to MrMerlin. So, really needs to, like, start pressurizing. He hasn't really got that gold in there yet because he's spending it on the long lines. And now we see the power of the TC there with its insane amount of range. I mean, look at that range. It's nuts. And he's got a couple of musks here deciding to siege the wall as well. So you can see now Animus is really just pressurizing MrMerlin into this corner, which is a really poor spot for him to be in. And we do see another home city shipment, and he is going for the caravels. And he's starting to build caravels. So he's actually he's not going to be able to get into age 3 here. And Animus now getting into age 3. So, you know, MrMerlin here is going to be a bit of a disadvantage. He's aging up with the Admiral of the Ocean Sea, which gets him those extra ships, I believe. We've got 2 caravels. I don't know whether it's going to be enough. Or... yeah, we do see the caravels from Animus here. So he's already predicting that he's going to get resistance. And he definitely is. And I think this is going to be a tricky spot here for Merlin. I'm not too sure what he's going to be able to do. I mean, he has got you know, 3 docks, and he's got to be careful because those caravels are not as strong as you think they are, and he can easily lose them to the outpost and the docks. And of course, those 2 musks are probably going to be going down. And he's got a couple of musks out himself, and he's sort of in a tricky spot here because he hasn't aged up. And he's constantly chopping wood, so I'm not too sure what his plan is here. Animus getting into age 3 very shortly with a nice amount of food and gold. And look at all these ships. 24 ships now. Yeah, 24. 24 ships for Animus. 2 caravels. I got 1 boat from a 2-boat shipment, says MrMerlin. Did he? I don't think he did. I think he made 1 and then got 2. I don't know. Did you see that? Did anyone see that? Deleted 1 boat. I trained 2 boats and a 2-boat shipment. And he got 1. Huh. I didn't see that. I'm not too sure maybe if anyone else in chat did see it. Yeah, unfortunately I can't rewind. I mean, I don't know how we don't have a rewind feature in this replay function. Ah, if you place the ship too close to the shore, one of the ships won't spawn. There you go. That was quite unfortunate. We do now see Animus with 3 caravels versus 4 caravels from Merlin. And he's got to be careful here because he could lose these. But I mean, the sheer amount of fishing boats here, I mean, getting so much food and gold. And the veals here are pretty much all on wood. You know, you've got like, yeah, 16 veals on wood. I mean, how many veals do you have in total? 26. Majority of them are on wood. So constantly creating those ships. We do see here some more naval battles. TC and the dock here taking some shots. MrMerlin garrisoning his ships again. So Animus is doing a great job here denying MrMerlin from this whale here. And also just, yeah, really like putting him in an awkward position. We do see the improved warships coming and double caravels. You've got to bear in mind though, Merlin is still only in age 2, which is, you know, it's quite a disadvantage at the moment. And we can start to see some classic Cassador and Goon army coming out to assault. Because we can see here that there's no walls or anything here from Merlin. We only see 8 musketeers on the field. And we already see like a wall going up here on this side and another TC being put out. And we're starting to see how ports are just so powerful in any sort of naval combat, how they can just completely take over the sea because of the TC that they get. And it's pretty unfortunate here. I'm not too sure what Merlin is going to be able to do. We see a score difference now of a double score difference.
Ready.
I get distracted so fast when playing water. And we see here 5 caravels. 5 double score without a real fight. Port's water is just OP. I mean, it is crazy, isn't it? I mean, we see already, like, we've got some forces on land here. We've got 15 Cazadors. We've got about 10 goons ready to go. Merlin's still in age 2. Animus in age 3. Animus has, you know, 26 fishing boats, and he stopped making fishing boats now. He's got a culverin. He's got a frigate on the way. Constant villager production. And we do now see the big frigate coming in. And yeah, MrMerlin really just retreating back to his docks. That's all he can really do right now. MrMerlin now going for the armor plating, which I believe... What's the armor plating? Is that the upgrade for the ships, I believe? But I mean, it's kind of scary because we only have 8 musketeers on land. Because he's putting a lot of his resources into the docks. And if I was Animus, I'll just push now. I'd push on land. I'd have a look and see what he's got. And that's exactly what's going to be happening here. We have a push coming. He's got a culverin, but I mean, MrMerlin is only in age 2, but maybe he's predicting that he might get into age 3 and ship 2 Falcons. So he has that culverin here. Oh, actually no, sorry. Culverins are actually pretty good against ships, aren't they? I think they're quite good at ships. Are they not? Yes. 10 times bonus damage to ships. So that's exactly what he's doing. He's using that to try and cover himself and take any ships out. But you can see this sheer dominance here, like how much of the sea that he has. He's got all of the food now. He's just getting the whales. And you can see all of that gold coming in. It's absolutely insane. And yeah, he's gonna lose his musks here from the Cazadors. No real resistance at all on land here from MrMerlin. You know, he got in that sort of sticky situation of, you know, not being able to age up. And we see here 5 caravels. He's going to make the decision to push. But, you know, I think there's just too much here. We've got a TC, we've got a dock, we've got a frigate. And here we go. Let's see here what's going on. We've got a frigate here. We've got 2 caravels. MrMerlin here with 5 caravels. And he is going to lose that frigate, but he's got to be careful. This culverin here is going to do some serious damage. And there's 2 more culverins coming out. And we do also see on land sieging of the outposts as well. And those culverins with a really high amount of range are going to be able to pick off these caravels here. So he needs to be very careful. We do see a couple of musks coming out here for Merlin. But it just looks like it's not going to be enough there. I mean, these Cazadors are just going to clear up these musketeers. It's just not going to be... There's no competition here at all in this battle. It's just those Cazadors are really strong. Counter heavy infantry, of course, so they're just going to be going down. And we see the caravels going down here as well. 5 fishing boats left for MrMerlin. 11 from Animus. I think he obviously deleted some of them because he doesn't need them. I mean, pretty much GG, says MrMerlin. And that's unfortunate. Animus looks like he's going to be taking the second game here. Wow, taking the second game of the best of 7 of the final for the $100 DubsCup goes to Animus, playing as the ports. Of course, a really strong position for them. A really good map for them as well. So, good pick by Animus. MrMerlin, unfortunately, just didn't have the infrastructure. I think the issue here, I think, was the not getting into age 3. I think the reaction here to building caravels and the pressure. I think building those caravels, obviously, you're using all of your gold, and I think that was just, I think that was the issue. Just not being able to try and get into age 3 really left, you know, Merlin in a position where he was stuck in age 2. And then, of course, we saw the classic composition from the ports. The goons and the Cazadors really did a number. And he also lost that ship because of that bug as well. Yeah, you invested so much into the water, says Animus. Yeah, we definitely saw that. So always got to remember that, yes, water is important, of course, to try and contest. But you've got to remember what's going on land as well. And we can see here that Animus got the 3rd TC up here, securing that gold. And also putting a nice wall here is very, very good. And just classic sort of port laming, basically. Horrible, toxic port. That's how it is. And very, very difficult to beat. And there we go, guys. So that is the second game to Animus. A best of 7 of the final of the DubsCup There we go, guys. There it is. Okay, so...
Don't believe it.
I don't believe it either. There you go, guys. 7 gifted subs. Thank you very much, Morlazan, from both him and Real Joe Quacks, gifting a total of 12 subs in this stream already. And Jesus, we're only just over an hour into the stream, and we're into the 3rd game here of the final between MrMerlin and Animus. And we've got 2 relatively, well, Sweden a little bit stronger than India, but still India a very powerful civ. And we're going to see how this matchup goes. So strap yourselves in. Kartoffel, if you don't mind putting the prediction in, that would be great. Get that prediction in so people can bet on who's going to win this game here. I know that Animus does play a mean India. That is one of his preferred civs that he plays. I think he plays India and Germany quite a bit. Main versus main. Okay, yeah, so MrMerlin's Sweden is his main here, so this is going to be a very interesting matchup. I've got no idea what's going to be happening here, to be honest, because it's both the main civs, so it's going to be very interesting to see. Can we get, before we carry on, can we get, there is the prediction, there it is. I was about to say thank you very much, Kartoffel, for putting the prediction in. Make sure you use your channel points, spend your widgets, get those predictions in as soon as you can. 2 minutes... Get them in. Who do you think is going to win this game? I'm going to be very interested to see what Animus does here, because I sort of do want to return back to India. So I'm going to take a few lessons here from Animus and see what he's doing. So, you know, seems to be going all out on the wood. First of all, which is very interesting because normally I do split. And, oh my God. What is going on? Hang on a second. Heartclux gifting 5 tier 1 subs. You absolute monster. What is going on today? Oh my God. 17 total now.
Believe it.
So we've got Word, we've got Kukia, we've got Kalima, we've got Blofeld, and we've got Hetchtoff. Pause. Guys, you're insane with the subs. Yeah, we're going to just hit that pause button as the notifications come in. I feel like he's going to have to use Elephants to Siege. Let's have a quick look at the decks. We have Elephant FF. Wow.
I don't believe it.
I mean, I don't believe it. I do not believe it. I mean, Elephant FF here is going to be very, very interesting because I rarely go Elephants when I play India. So it's going to be really, really cool to see. Yeah, you guys are absolutely insane with the subs. You guys are doing a great job. Make sure to get your points in. Only 800 points have been bet so far. There's only about 20, 30 seconds left. Get your points in. Bet those points. Okay. Wow. Make sure you give your thanks to Heartclux there. Give your thanks to Heartclux for another 5 gifted subs. You guys are absolutely crazy. Gifting them out. Throwing them out. I love it. Thank you very much for your support, by the way, because of course we all know that some of that does go to myself, and I will be reinvesting it into the channel. Do not worry. They will be going to tournaments. I've got an idea of creating an ultimate tournament. It's going to be a big one. Animus saying sorry, not too sure what about. But I have got plans to create a tournament in the near future. Of course, before AoE 4 comes out, of course, I will be getting a tournament sorted for you guys. So I'm hoping that you'll be interested in watching that. Once I get either 50 or 100, there will be some more heading towards Widgie. Oh, appreciate it, MrMerlin. Appreciate it, dude. Okay, let's have a look at MrMerlin's deck. Is it a standard sort of land deck for Sweden? Very, very standard. Nothing unusual here. And we do see a very unusual one from Animus. I got to see this. I'm really interested. He's going for the good faith agreements. So the armies and improvements arrive 50% faster. And export cost is lower. This is interesting because I don't normally do this. I'll normally go for the... he's gone for the distributivism and then for the good faith. He's got the trading post early. Very, very interesting. I don't normally do this at all. So this is really interesting to see, this opening. This is something that I don't normally do when I play India. And he's going for the Carney Martyr. Wow, he's really switching it up. So I thought he would maybe go with the aggro, which a lot of people do, but he's going for the Carney Martyr. So it looks like he's going for, yeah, definitely an FF, as mentioned here, the Elephant FF. We do see. And I assume that he's going to probably go for the consulate, the French consulate, that gives him the extra resources. I wouldn't be surprised if we see that. Rickshaw Micro. We do see a couple of Ellie's here. We've got the Rickshaw, moving around here. Do a great job here of scouting the entire map. Look at that. What a great job. Animus really going well there. Let's have a look at Merlin. Hasn't really scouted a lot of Animus yet. Probably would be a good idea to definitely do that. Because India can do all sorts. So it's probably a good idea just to make sure that you're scouting. And we do see some defensive torps being built. We don't see anything. Oh, we do see a Villeneuve edging out. And most likely he's gone for the naturalist, which gets you the extra cows and the 2 settlers. And we see an unusual rotated barracks once again for MrMerlin. Loves rotating his buildings. We've got a defensive barracks coming up here just behind the TC. And we don't have any sort of military building. Oh, we're not even in Age 2, that's why. We've got the Carney Martyr going down, and now we've got the gold upgrade coming in. And I assume we'll see potentially the 700 gold when he ages up, I'm going to assume. By the way, we've got 24 viewers in. Welcome, everyone. Come on in to the $100 DubsCup final. Third game here between MrMerlin and Animus. Okay, so obviously this Carney Martyr providing a lot. Look at this coverage. Really providing that extra boost to the gathering rate, which is really, really nice. So this is really going to enable him to get into that fast fortress as quick as he can. And we actually do see the diplomatic intrigue coming in and the consulate being built. So as I say, most likely going to be seeing the French consulate, I imagine, which will get you the shipments, or maybe the Otto that gets you the 4 vills. I'm not too sure. I'm going to say French. I'm going to say French. Let's see if my knowledge helps me here. I think he's going to go French. Sweden is ridiculous, but Animus is a beast. Okay, there we go. Very interesting. Not too sure what's going to happen. We do see some herding here for MrMerlin. Very nice. More rickshaw exploring. I love it. And we've got an elephant going straight in the base, seeing what's going on. And we have the Inglesberg Ironworks coming up, of course. And I'm hoping that we see some Age 2 aggression here from Merlin to try and stop this Age 3 nonsense. And we do see, of course, siding with the French. And we've got a crate, a coin crate coming out and a food crate. So that should enable him to get into the Age a little bit quicker. And I don't know how quick is quick here. I imagine we're going to see the Charmer Gates coming out next. Most likely the Charmer Gate, or maybe the Taj Mahal. That will get you extra gold. But normally Taj Mahal, I think, is used if you want to do an FI. But I think we're probably going to see the Charmer Gate here, which will get you those Mansabdar units, which are very, very good. Let's have a look at MrMerlin here, just creating more Carolians. Not really pushing out yet at all, not having a look and seeing what's going on. No more trade posts built, just the one here on the right. And we have the blueberries coming in. So I'm kind of interested to see what Merlin's going to do here. Is he going to push out? Is he going to have a little look? Because he actually hasn't really scouted India at all yet, which is kind of scary because he doesn't know whether he's gone for an aggro. He doesn't know what he's doing. I mean, he's seen his deck, but I mean, I probably wouldn't even know from the deck. All saying, I voted for you this time, Merlin. There we go. Showing the support. And we do see a wonder going down here. Which one is it? It's the Agrifort. Okay. I would not have expected the Agrifort. I thought maybe the Charmander, but I guess the Agrifort's going to provide that little bit of defense. I've rarely seen Agrifort being put down in Age 3, to be honest. I thought that's really only an Age 2 wonder. So there's obviously a lot for me to learn. I imagine we'll see the consulate being switched at some point. And we could see that he obviously has gone for the good faith agreements, went for the distributivism, then went for the diplomatic, and then went for the foreign logging. Very, very good. And Age 3, I'm not too sure what we're going to see from Age 3 here. Maybe either some siege elephants, or maybe he might go for the Mahout Lancers. They might be quite good. Yeah, because the Mahouts are actually pretty good. Not the Mahouts, sorry. Is it? No, it is the Mahouts, isn't it? Yeah, the Mahouts. We can see a couple of Corollians here. Still sort of sitting at the base, though. Not really doing too much. I'm not too sure. We're probably going to be starting to see an age up here from Merlin. And the score is pretty even at the moment. But we do know that India do have quite a mid to late game eco boom. They do start to get a little bit ridiculous. So we'll see what happens. Yeah, it's aggro. Yeah, so the aggro tree isn't the best, but because you don't have a huge amount of military, it was probably needed. But I mean, I guess you were anticipating some sort of Sweden aggression, and we do see that the consulate has been changed, and we see some siege elephants. Okay, so this is going to be really good, taking down those torps. We do see 5 Corollians standing by to attention, defending this torp here on the south side of the map. And we see, like, yeah, just sort of 4 people on wood. That's kind of sort of standard once you've got foreign logging. You tend to have 4 or 5 people on wood. That should keep you with a constant villager production. And we see, obviously, some Gurkhas coming out. And there we go, the British allies. That's going to give you a 7% hit point increase, which is really nice. And, of course, it will give you access to the British Grenadiers or the Musketeer companies, company cars, which are really nice. We see just gathering a treasure here. Always remember that, guys. If you've got an army and you've got some treasures nearby, just use your army to secure treasures. You know, it's extra resources, extra bonuses. Never forget that. Never forget it. Like, for example, here, the Corollians could move out, take this treasure, get your explorer or your villager to take the treasure. It's something that's always missed, I think. So we've got a relatively decent mass here from Animus. Slight couple of K score above now, Merlin. Above MrMerlin here. And these siege elephants are going to be a real difficult unit to take down. They're very, very good at taking down artillery. They're good at taking buildings. They are a really, really strong unit. And now we start to see the elephant company here. And most likely we're going to start to see maybe the British East India Company might come out as well. That will increase the Sepoy and Gurkha mass. But I've got a feeling we're going to see sort of like a Gurkha Sepoy with the Mahouts. That'll be quite a good composition. And I think that's probably what we're going to see. How much range do the Howders have? I'm not entirely sure. You know that they have 19 range, the Gurkha as well. And unfortunately, it looks like Merlin is going to lose... these torps here. And we do now start to see Howders. So Howders have 16 range. And they are good against hand cavalry and artillery. And an insane amount of HP involved. We have a little look at MrMerlin here, just constantly creating Corollians. I mean, I think probably the Howders are best here because the Mahouts, I mean, the Corollians will counter the Mahouts because they're sort of like heavy cav. But the Howders will be quite good because they will be able to take down artillery, any cav that the MrMerlin decides to go. And of course, the siege elephants will be able to poke the and take down the falconets here. So here we go. Battle is going to ensue. There's 27 Corollians here, so he's got to be careful. But he's got to be careful because those siege elephants are going to try and pick the falconet. We've got one shot already. And he really needs to try and use his Corollians. He's going to charge in. Interesting. And he's going to... Oh, I don't know what's going to go on here, but he is going to lose a lot of Corollians. And, I mean, the siege elephants have so much HP now because of that upgrade. And the Howders are going to just keep trying to take the Falks out. And, I mean, that was a really, really... that was a poor engagement there from MrMerlin. I think he sort of tried to focus too much on the elephants. He sort of got blindsided, and the Gurkhas just picked off all of the Corollians there. The elephants are OP. I think the elephants just need some... I mean, Sweden do have issues. They don't really have any sort of anti-cav answer. I think that's the issue with Swedes. So it can be tricky. It can be very, very tricky. If we have a look at MrMerlin now, he's got nobody gathering gold right now. So just on the torps, he's got no torps. He's got, actually, sorry, 4 torps, total of 16. Still quite a significant amount of torps, but 2 more are going to be going down here. And you see Animus here. His eco is starting to take off, classic India style. We do see the Kali Mata and the Delhi Gate. Now, it's not called the Agra Fort, it's called the Delhi Gate. I don't know whether it's actually more powerful. And there is the Charge Bugle. Once again. Hang on, he's got a field hospital down there. Look at this. I rarely see this sort of play here. And I think that's come from the advanced consulate, giving him the field hospital.
Yes.
Hand. I love the doctors. They do the surgeons. Sorry, they've got some great lines. And he's just going to use this to sort of heal his units. Majority of his composition is Gurkha, but it's difficult because he's got the 4 Howdahs here, can really take down any sort of cav that come in their way. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. I mean, Animus has got a really, really strong composition here. You know, the Gurkha Howdah is quite a good composition, especially with the 2 siege elephants here. And they're going to be able to pressurize torps even more. And he is going to try. He's got 1 villager picked off there. And we do see, once again, just more Karolians coming out. A total of 39 Karolians. And those Gurkhas are going to be able to snipe and pick off those Karolians. And he's got to be careful with those Falks. He doesn't want to lose them. They're very, very low health as it is. And we do see here the platoon fire coming up. So he has got the snap block already. Animus here going for 3 Mahout Lancers. So really going in for the elephants. And elephants take up a lot of population. You've got to bear that in mind as well. So, yeah, making sure that he's got plenty of, you know, his resources are being used up here quite well. So, good macro. He's got to be careful with his Gurkhas, though, because he doesn't want the Falks to take a couple of volleys off. We see more Howdahs coming out now. Just 6 Howdahs. 3 Mahout Lancers. And we see a couple of shots here. Those Howdahs are going to try and get in range to take out the Falconets, but he's got to be careful because he doesn't want to lose all these Gurkhas. And we see that the Karolians are going in hand to hand. The one of the Falcons is already gone. The Karolians are just trying to chop the Howdahs as best they can. He's lost both Falcons now. He's now got the militiamen out as well. But those Gurkhas are just going to really clean up the Karolians because he's trying to focus the siege elephants. But the siege elephants have so much HP. 40 HP here, and yeah, it's not looking good here for MrMerlin at all. Animus really, you know, this is Animus's main civ, extremely strong, going for an unusual build that I would never have thought of. Yeah, I mean, he's got the trade post here, and also he's got the consulate upgrade. He's now getting the East India Company, which is going to give him extra boost for his sepoys, his Gurkhas. And those siege elephants are just really strong. A great third age shipment. I always go for the siege elephants. I do love them. I mean, look at the damage. The sheer damage here. He's already gone for the Ellie upgrade here, the elephant combat. And we see here he hasn't got any other elephant upgrades here at all. It's just the combat. You can get the one that reduces population for the elephants and also reduces cost for them as well. But because he's got all these shipments, you know, he gets 2 Howdahs, he gets 3 Mahouts, he gets 2 Siege. You know, Animus just laughing here. Not too sure why. He's just laughing away. And he's going back to his little field hospital. And just healing up all of his units again. You can see here that really, really quick heals here. Because obviously elephants have a large HP pool, so it does make sense to have a field hospital to heal them up. Because he is evil. Jaegers and Cav, better comp against India. Caro spam just won't cut it, says Animus. Yeah, I mean, you know, Karolians are a great answer to most compositions. Like, they are a strong heavy infantry unit. But when you have this sort of composition, it's just not enough. You know, you need to try and diversify, go sort of like a skirm cav composition. And look at the amount of elephants here. I mean these Mahouts. I mean he is going to lose these Mahouts here. He's sort of going to waste them a little bit, I think, to be honest. I mean, I'm not too sure. I mean, that was kind of a waste there from Animus. I know he's got a lot of troops, but those 3 Mahoots going straight down there. And I mean, the Howders just have so much. They've got the range resist as well, and you've got the Gurkhas behind, and it's just insane. An insane composition. I mean, I've got to try this composition. You know, it looks nuts, especially against Sweden. I mean, it's crazy. Animus constantly creating villages. Still only got 1 TC. But, you know, he's got a lot of export there that he can use. He can definitely get some British units out, or some surgeons, or whatever he wants to. And, I mean, yeah, it looks like it's going to be a GG here. Another GG. Welcome, everyone, by the way, into the stream. Nearly got 30 viewers. Welcome, everyone. 3rd game here into the final of the $100 DubsCup. We have MrMerlin versus Animus here. And it's looking like Animus is going to take the 3rd game 3-0. We do have some Hussars coming out here. But I mean, it looks like it's probably going to be too late, because the Howders are going to be able to really do a lot of damage against... I mean, look, they just pretty much 2-shot the Hussars. And that's kind of brutal. We see just, you know, Siege Elephants taking the barracks down. And he is retreating. We see a huge score difference now. And it looks like this is GG. Morlazan says, oh no, my poor widgets, I was saving for the hot tub stream. I'm sorry, Morlazan. It was not to be. Hussar's just going straight in here, trying to take them out, but it's still not going to be enough. GG, says MrMerlin. There we go. This was rigged. There we go, guys. Animus takes the 3rd game. 3-0 at the moment. Are we going to get a clean sweep from Animus? I'm not too sure. Hopefully you guys can find out in the 4th game. If you just have a couple of minutes break, and we'll be right with you with the 4th game. 3-0 to Animus. RIP, says Plant. Okay, so of course this is a best of 7. Remember that. So essentially it's the first of 4. That's the best of 7. And we have potentially, we don't know, but potentially this could be the last game. This is a decider match, essentially, or the potential final match of the final of the $100 DubsCup between MrMerlin and Animus. And on the left, we have Animus playing as the Inca again. So we're going to see what he's up to, whether he's going to maybe go a native rush. We do have some native posts. And we have, of course, MrMerlin on the right side here playing as Germany. So MrMerlin has actually played 4 different civs. He hasn't returned to any of his previous ones. And he's trying the Germans here. So this is going to be very interesting. We're going to see what happens. Let's see if I be the only one taking a game of Animus. Wait, I thought it was 3-0 to you, Plant. I thought Doubles told me it was 3-0. No, 3-1. Oh, was it? Okay, I thought it was... Okay, Doubles said it was 3-0. Yeah, you corrected yourself with 3-0. You said 3-1, and then you said, oh, 3-0 Animus, actually. You corrected yourself wrong, Doubles. You check the chat. Oh, you second-guessed yourself, right? Okay, sorry. So, yeah, so it's 3-1 then in the semi-final between Plants and Animus. And I think Animus has actually only lost 1 game, and that has been to Plantinator. So we're going to see how this matchup goes. I've never really seen this matchup before, Germany versus Inca here. It could be a little bit of a struggle here potentially for Inca because, you know, Inca like to normally open up with the jungle bowman. You could go spearman, jungle bowman perhaps could be quite good, or maybe the chimney runner. And we're going to see what deck Animus goes for here. Hasn't selected a deck just yet. We're waiting to see what he's going to do. He is going for the big button. Yeah, he used the llama there to get his big button in. And he's going for 2 fattened llamas. And he's going for meme. Oh no, what the hell is this? Meme. We've got llama lifestyle. Doubles the effectiveness of llamas at the community plaza. Oh no, what on earth is going on here? Oh, hang on. We've got a water deck inbound. So is he going to be potentially... I have no idea what this is. I know he's got the salt ponds, which is really, really good. And we've got the Chincha rafts. So we're going to see some water play here. Spanish Logistician was too much for my USA. And MrMerlin here is going for a deck called Ranked. He's got the exotic hardwoods. Sorry. Okay, must have been some sort of pause. So it looks relatively standard for MrMerlin. Doesn't look like he's going on water. Hasn't got any sort of anti-water deck here. So this could be quite troublesome for MrMerlin. Because if Animus can get himself on the water, we know Inca are one of the strongest on water. Please keep an eye on the scouts. Yeah, predictions, please. Yeah, Kartoffel. Where's your prediction? Can you put a prediction in, please? I haven't seen the prediction. Let's quickly pause so we can get a prediction in. No, it's not too late. It's not too late for a prediction. We can get one in. I'll put a prediction in. It's up to you guys if you want to bet. It doesn't matter either way. If you guys choose you don't want to bet because you think it's gone too far, then, you know, I will put a prediction in. There we go, guys. There you go. What's this, MrMerlin? Widgie, shame Animus for doing that. Oh wait, no, what happened? I should have kept the Animus, what did you do? What did you do? Yeah, Kartoffel, you're not doing your predictions, man. I gave you that moderator status for a reason. Open chat log. How do I open chat log? That's... How do I open chat log? I thought it was enter, but... Why can't I? Yeah, I'm trying enter and it's not working. Enter is switching between... That's very strange. I don't know what's going on. I can't see chat. I don't know why. I'm trying enter and it's not working. Enter is like... Enter's not switching. I don't know what's going on. Normally it does work. I don't know why it's not. So let's have a look. So Animus is aging up with the Chief once again. Are we going to be seeing... Wait, the Chief is the two Travars, sorry. We are seeing very defensive cancer houses here. So it looks like he's going to be going for a water boom. Of course, we see the water, the meme build here. The llama lifestyle is interesting. Sets the community plaza work weight to 0.5. Does that mean the llamas have the same power as villagers? Is that correct? Villagers have 0.5, don't they? And priestesses have 1. Is that right? Can't remember. Okay, so MrMerlin. Hey, Morlazan, how you doing? So MrMerlin securing himself an 80 XP treasure, which is going to be really helpful for him. He's aging up with the Naturalist, which is going to be getting those 2 semi-fattened cows and the 2 villagers. And we see that he is getting a lot of food and wood, gold here. Looks like he's going to be going with an FF, it seems. I don't know if we're going to see any sort of Ulans opening up with some Ulans. I'm not too sure. Yeah, we do see the fattened cows coming out here. And we see Animus here going for the 600 wood. And he is going full cancer. And he's gone for the double trade post. Didn't need it anyway, says MrMerlin. Okay, he's having trouble with the Travois here. This is classic AoE 3. Look at this. Look at this. The Travois dance, everyone. This is what I hate about Travois and stuff like this. They just mess around like this. And we have it here as well. Not building for some reason. It's very, very strange. And it looks like, yeah, he's going... I mean, double TP, very interesting. I thought at least 1 war hut potentially. But he is going super greedy here. With that double... He still hasn't put them down. They probably would have been built by now. But they're sort of going weird. And obviously we see the Chincha Brewing now. First car being the Chincha Brewing. Sorry, second because he got the fattened llamas. And then he's going for the Chincha Brewing here. I'm very interested to see what he's going to be doing here. what his next step is going to be, whether he's going to go for a 700 gold and he's going to get into Fast Fortress. It just seems kind of crazy here. I thought he would be going on the water, but it doesn't look like he is. Is he trying to fake it out? I'm not too sure. And we see here Animus using his Outlaw Rifleman to help him secure another treasure. 75 wood. Lovely. That's really going to help him get more canches down. And we do see a barracks just opened up here for Merlin in a defensive position behind the TC. And looks like, yeah, he's definitely got way more food than he needs. Oh, that's brutal. Rip. Wow. So, yeah, so the Travar bugged out and it didn't build. And MrMerlin spotted the Travar there and took it down. Wow. No, this is best of 7. So the final is best of 7. We decided that quite late on, actually, that it would be a best of 7. And yeah, so it looks like he's got all of his canches now. So he's built all of his canches. And it's looking like going for the Spirit Medicine, which helps with the Vils, I think, because he's anticipating some raids. It looks like he's just going super greedy, you know? And it looks like we do see now an age up, relatively fast age up there. Looks like definitely a Fast Fortress with the Marksman. That'll be getting 8 skirmishers, I believe. And Animus here is now going for the schooners. So now he's now building his dock. And this is very interesting. I think we're just going to start to see potentially, I don't know. I don't know what this is. This is interesting. I mean, he's gone super defensive with his canches. I love how he's built them, like around the wood area here, so it sort of reduces the chance of getting raided. I really like that. And we do see another treasure that he's going to be 110 gold. That's really going to help him get into the Fortress Age. And we can see here that the canches are doing everything for him. Look at this, 877 food being gathered. And that is pretty much all because of the canches are giving him that food. So he doesn't need to really get any more food at all. And he is moving everything over to wood and a few on gold here. And I presume that we're most likely going to see a 700 gold shipment coming up. And he has built a wall here just to stop any sort of potential sieging of the ships. And I mean, this is crazy. Like, I'm so surprised that we haven't seen any sort of pressure here from MrMerlin. And once again, we don't really see a huge amount of scouting. He has spotted that there's a wall there, but he hasn't spotted the docks. That is really crucial. And he hasn't spotted that. All he spotted is a couple of canches. He doesn't know whether he's gone for a war hut at all. He knows that he probably knows that he went for 2 TPs instead. I mean, this macro is insane. Like, you know, he's really going full defensive here, walling up. And now the boom is starting. We can see that he's going for the food. And the fishing and cancher houses alone, he's going to secure his food. You know, he's not going to need a lot of people on food. It's pretty much going to be majority of people on wood. And this is a crazy build. Maybe I should try this build. I mean, it looks like a sort of a water boom, to be honest. Look back at your base. What are we looking at? We're seeing some defensive houses being put down. We've got 6 skirmishers, 2 Ulans, and we have got into age 3 now, and we've got another 8 skirmisher and 3 Ulan shipment. So, oh, what the hell? Why are all these cows dead? What's going on here? Oh, he said moo, and I was really confused. Wow. What on earth happened here? Were they deleted? Did Animus somehow get them and then delete them? I have no idea what happened here, but we do have 5 Ulans. We've got 14 skirms. Score is relatively the same. You know, I think that's obviously because of the early age up by Merlin. But you've got to bear in mind that the eco for Animus, if it's not challenged, is going to get out of hand because we do have the salt ponds coming in, and that is really going to boost up a lot of the gather rate. And this is where it's going to start to get silly. You can see all of the food coming in now from the cancher houses, from the gold, And now we see the age up from Animus. So it's not even a semi-FF. It's just a slow age up, just turtling. And I imagine soon we're going to start to see some military buildings going down. I don't know whether we're going to see potentially the Machu Picchu card coming out. Probably that'll be the first card. Or maybe the 1,000 Wood. Not entirely sure here. Ran through his base, deleting all cows. Wow. Okay, so Merlin here, another 9 Ulan shipment. I think MrMerlin just needs to go out. He needs to go out and see what's going on. You know, he hasn't really scouted the base at all. He's got those troops available, and if he found out that he was walling, then you know that's a definite sign of some sort of turtle boom strategy going on. And he needs to definitely do something about it. He needs to probably get, you know, he hasn't got any Falk shipments in here or anything like that. We see now War Hut going down in transition, which is what I mentioned that he would most likely be doing. And we see the Wise Woman, which I believe is it's not the fast age up, is it? Is it the Wise Woman? I think it is the fast age up. And we just see the sheer amount of boats now, 17 boats. However, MrMerlin's eco is still there though. Like, his score's still there. You know, he's got a significant amount of troops. And he needs to do something here. He needs to definitely either try and go raiding or try and do something, because he's just allowing Animus here just to boom up. The Infinite 10 Expo. Plantinator is actually Floatinator. Oh god, that game was crazy. The Floatinator, yeah, indeed. So we now see 17 boats here. I don't know when we're going to start to see Chincharaffs, but I mean, he probably has he scouted? I think he's scouted. He's got a sheep here, but I'm pretty sure he probably knows that he's not on water, so he's not needing to do that. And we do now see just pure Chimmy Runner. Now, Chimmy Runners are actually not bad against Cav. I mean, they're sort of the heavy Cav, you could say, of the Inca. He's just deleting a pillar there, it seems. So, I mean, he could pretty much go full Chimmy Runner, and he'd probably be okay. Because, he's going... The Ulans do have a high hand attack damage. You've got to bear that in mind. There's only 20 attack here with a rate of 1.5. We have 44 here. So he definitely needs some spearmen mixed in here. Yeah, floating on your mum. Love it. Is it only me that is laughing at a deer running around? A deer running around? Is there a deer running around? Okay. So we have the town centre Travar now. So really going... And as I said, he's got the Machu Picchu. That's what I mentioned before. So we do see further fortifications coming up. The Machu Picchu card is amazing. He's just noticed the cows. Those dead cows. He lost all that food. God knows how much. Maybe 600 food. Moo. Brilliant. So, I mean, MrMerlin really needs to figure out, like, he needs to... I mean, these troops, it's just sad to see. He's got these troops here just not doing anything. And he really needs to start pushing, because he's going to allow... Check out my hero closely. Oh, wait, no, Animus, sorry. Where's Animus? 2-pack Inca. 2-pack Inca. Wow, you got 1700 HP on your Explorer. Wait, you're in Industrial? I just realised he's in Industrial Age. Jesus Christ. How have I just realised this? This is nuts. Yo, Widgie, this is the perfect match to learn Inca from, Animus. Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm seeing this is a real water boom. This is a water boom of many. You know, we don't see any Chincharaffs because there's no need to do it, because he knows that there's nothing on water for him. And we can see here that he's now going for the heavy fortifications, which is going to make it even harder to take down. Though he is really turtling here. So we can see Animus is playing it super safe for the potential last game of the tournament here. We're not too sure yet, of course. It is 3-0 at the moment. And now we see the mighty War Hut now. We have the upgrade. And look at that, 9,000 HP, 4,250. And now he's going for the Cloud Fortress, which means the strongholds can use stealth, which is absolutely insane. And he's put the Machu Picchu straight out here. So it looks like he's not going to get it in just yet, but it's going to be funny when it becomes stealth and he can't do anything about it. He's got to be careful of this because it's surprisingly damaging. This, especially when you garrison all of the units. You can see here, look at that extra range attack damage. It's nothing to be sniffed at, and we see that he's, as I say, starting to do the classic sort of getting those TPs really far out. He's put one here on the coast just in case, but he's pretty much got it all here. MrMerlin now deciding to move out. Honestly, I think it's too late. I think it's too late for Merlin right now. I'm not too sure, but I think he's allowed Animus just to age up into age 4, and it has allowed him to really scout to boom. Plant says, yeah, the game is lost. I mean, it's not looking pretty. We got 30 odd fishing boats by Animus. He's taken the water. He's got 3 TCs. I mean, this one is going to be taken down if it's not done anything. He's got the Bolus Warriors. Some people say the Bolus Warriors are one of the worst units in the game. We're going to see how they do, though. Are you ready? And these Chimmy Runners, champion Chimmy Runners, 210 HP here. And we can see that Chimmy Runners are only really good, but have bonus against artillery. Hey, Vidres, how you doing, man? Oh, you're away from dinner. You missed the bets. It's not good enough. Got to let me know, Kartoffel. If you are leaving, let me know. Because that would be good. Animus is here. Yeah, what up, Dreads? We do see now some more sieging coming here, but no sign of an industrial age up from Merlin. And we've just got an absolute swarm of 50. We do have the Elite Maceman. I love the Elite Maceman. And Chimmy Runner is going to be absolutely deadly because those Macemen are going to absolutely destroy the Ulans. We don't see... yeah, this is going to be interesting to see. Yeah, we do see an Inca water boom. Is exactly what we're seeing right now. They're not really getting a lot of the gold yet, the whales. I don't know whether they're getting all of the whales yet, but you can see that the food is absolutely insane because of the canchers. I mean, he's actually starting to float a little bit of resources here. We do see that I heard the stealth button there, and yeah, we see the Chimus going into stealth here. Look at this. Look at this. Where's the Explorer? The Explorer will spot them, though. Surely... Wait, the Explorer should spot, shouldn't they? Yeah, there you go. And the Chimus coming in now. And there's some bowmen on the north side here picking off the sort of doppels there. And look at this, just chopping through all of the skirms, and the Cav have got nowhere really to go. They're going to go for the bowman, which is probably the best thing for them right now. But look at the amount of Chimus, and he's just going to be able to create more. And these Chimus, absolutely insane. I didn't know they even got stealth. They must have got it from the home city shipment. There must have been a stealth option. Yes, there it is. The Cloud Warriors. Yeah, unfortunately, yeah, the Landskech, I think it's called. The Landskech. I can't even pronounce it, but the Landskech anyway. They should have been definitely focused on the Chimus. And, yeah, looks like this is definitely over. I can't honestly see Merlin coming back from this, to be honest. He is going for the 10 crossbows, but that's just not going to do anything against the Chimus. And, yeah. Landskech. Is that how you say it? I don't even know. Landskech? Or Skacht? Skacht? I don't know. We do have a stealth. This is kind of cool. A stealthed Machu Picchu here. I say Machu Picchu, but it's like whatever it is. The stronghold. We'll say the stronghold. Wait, someone's already put the prediction result in. Really? The game's not over yet. You should never do that. Should never do that. Yes, you shouldn't have done it. You should not have done that, Kartoffel. Okay, so never, even though if you think that it's not going to end, if MrMerlin actually wins this, then yeah. Yeah, never finish the prediction until the game's over. Just want to let everyone know, whoever, like my moderators and stuff, if you do set predictions up, never stop the prediction until the game is over. Yeah. I mean, look at this, for example. Look. I mean, you know, that was a kind of a poor fight there from Animus. I mean, unfortunately, I think he's obviously still going to lose it, but I mean, that wasn't the best fight there from Animus. Putting the Chimus in, he probably should have just maybe, I mean, he probably needs Spearmen or some Bolus Warriors potentially, but he's just deleted all of his units, and that is saying to me that it's GG. I think stealth is really stupid for this game. We know your position, Caverna, on the natives. What counters Chimus? Spears. Doppels. Doppels counters Chimus. You need Doppels. War Wagons as well, yeah, War Wagons. Dops and War Wagons are very good. I probably would say Dops probably better. Yeah. Not throwing your army counters them. Wow. Chimus are like light cav. Well, I don't know. People say they're like light cav, but I think they're more like heavy cav. Because if you look at what they counter artillery, and they're good against skirmishers and artillery. So from my perspective, you know, heavy cav or hand or melee cavalry, heavy cavalry is good against skirms and artillery. Yeah, Chimus are hand cav. Yeah, definitely. They're like coyote runners. I wouldn't say they're light cav. I would definitely say that they're heavy cav. Treat them like heavy cav. And there we go, guys. So we have the winner. Absolutely crushed it. You know, I think Animus definitely was the preferred person, or, you know, the person that was backed the most for winning this tournament. Of course, he has a very high elo, a 1v1 elo now of about 1500, I think, which is probably a little bit too high for this tournament, but we'll make sure in the future that we narrow the range a little bit. We get it a little bit more competitive, because I think Animus obviously was one of the best, or the best person in the tournament. Of course, he has won the tournament. Well done, Animus. $100 goes to you, good sir, for winning the $100 DubsCup tournament. And of course, if you just speak to Doubleslive about the prize money. And of course, MrMerlin, the runner-up, of course, but securing himself $50, which is very, very nice. There's Doubleslive is in chat. Great tournament. Thank you, everyone. There we go, guys. Finishing up the tournament there. A little bit quicker than I thought. I thought we were going to see a little bit more of a competition. No disrespect to MrMerlin there. But unfortunately, it was a pretty quick game. Pretty quick matchup. 4-0 to Animus. Great try, Merlin. Yeah, well played. Well played. I think, you know, if there's something that you could take away, I would just honestly say just make sure to scout. You know, scouting is so important. Getting that information, understanding what you think they're going to go, and trying to react to it. That's what I would suggest. I think, you know, there was a little bit of lack of scouting in this match, and also in the one previous, the Indian one, the game against Sweden and India. But well played. Great choices from Animus here, playing some strong games with Inca and India. Really, really enjoyed it. And of course the ports, but the ports are very strong. I mean, ports, Inca, the ports and Inca are very strong civs, so very difficult to take down, especially when there's a highly rated player playing them, of course, Animus. So thank you very much for the games. I just want to say also, to Doubleslive, thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to be able to cast. I really appreciate it. And of course, guys, if you're setting up a tournament, whether it's Caverna's tournament, whether it's Doubleslive's new tournament, his 2v2 tournament, if you need me to cast, let me know. Drop me a DM in Discord, Twitch, whatever. If you need me to cast any games, I'm happy to cast. I probably will be participating in some of those tournaments, but if there's some games that I'm not playing in and you want me to cast them, then please feel free to reach out to me